Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. Last time we took a look at how the names for the days of the week evolved. What we're going to do today is we're going to expand on that and look at where did the names for the months come from. To do this, we need to look back to the Roman Empire, which is where the current days they can all be found. The original Roman calendar, it only had 10 months. And this was introduced by the first Roman king, Romulus. And I've got to be honest, if you're like me, every time you hear Romulus, you're going to jump and think about Star Trek. The first 4 months, they were named after Roman gods and festivals. And then the remaining 6, they took the name from the number of the month that they occurred in. It's almost as if they ran out of ideas for month names after the first 4. Their calendar, it began in March. And month 1 was called Martius, which is named after Romulus's father, Mars, the god of war. Then came Aprilis, named after the Latin verb aperio, which means to open. This is followed by Maius, named for the Greek goddess Maia. And then the last, it was named Iunus, named after Juno, the Roman goddess of marriage and childbirth. The remaining months, they were based on the numbers. So for the 5th month was Quintilis, the 2nd month was Sixtis, and so on up to the 10th month. Now these months, they did not match the length of the year. So the second Roman king, Numa, he introduced an additional 2 months, and they came before March. The first was Iarius, which is named for Janus, the Roman god of beginnings and endings. And there's also Febrius, which comes from the Latin fenrum, which is purification. And yes, I know all these Latin names, I'm mangling them terribly. These 2 new months, they were seen as preparing for the coming of spring. The months with the number names, they remained unchanged, although they no longer matched the number of the month in the calendar. There are some disagreements about the source for some of the names of the months. April, Aprilis, as I said earlier, one group, it thinks this is to do with the word aperio, but there's another view that it's named after the goddess Aphrodite, also known as Venus, and she was the mother of Aeneas, who fled from Troy and was the founder of the Roman race. Similarly, there's alternate views about the origins for May and June. One alternate is that they were named after the 2 divisions of the Roman body. The Maries, the elders, and the Juniors, the juniors. Another version is that the name it comes from deities. The nymph Maia gave her name to the month of May, and Juno gave her name to the month of June. Now personally, I like there being different views on this because I think it just adds a little bit more colour into the discussion. The months named after numbers, they remained unchanged until the end of the Roman Republic. In 44 BC, the month Quintilis was renamed to Julius in honour of the month that Julius Caesar was born. In 8 BC, Caesar's adopted son and heir, the first Roman Emperor Augustus, he changed Sixtus to become Augustus. This name, it was picked because it represented the month that he first became consul, and also when he subjugated Egypt. The remaining numbered months, well, they remained the same. There were a couple of subsequent Roman empires. They tried to make some further changes, but to be honest, they just didn't take. In 1582, Pope Gregory XIII, he adjusted the calendar to give us the Gregorian calendar, which is what we use to this day. This was done to fix some inaccuracies in the Julian calendar, which didn't factor in things like the actual time it takes the Earth to orbit the Sun. This introduced the idea of leap days, and it also meant there was a need to skip 10 days to bring the date into line with the astronomical calendar. Now, I've enjoyed researching this video. Same with the previous one, where the names come from, I find is really interesting. And one of the things which spring to mind is we've got a name for days, we've got a name for months. Why was there never a name for weeks? That'd be an interesting thing to try and understand that. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, I love the origins of words. I've already said that a couple of times. Please drop a comment down below. Are there any words, phrases, sayings that you'd like me to take a dig into? I'd love to get them comments down below. Please hit the thumbs up button every time you like, every time you comment. Just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.